The ferry cuts through the fog, heading toward an island most people never leave. A prison. A hospital. A place built for the dangerously insane. And standing at the edge of the boat is U.S. Marshal Teddy Daniels. He's here to investigate a disappearance. One patient, gone without a trace. No broken windows, no signs of escape, nothing, which should be impossible. But this island is surrounded by cliffs, guards, and freezing water. No one gets out. As Teddy arrives, something immediately feels wrong. The staff act nervous. The patients stare too long, and everyone seems to know more than they're saying. Still, Teddy pushes forward, questioning doctors, searching rooms, trying to understand how someone could vanish from a locked facility. But the deeper he digs, the stranger things become. One patient slips him a note. Run. And suddenly, this stops feeling like an investigation and starts feeling like a warning. Teddy begins noticing things, contradictions, missing files, locked areas no one will explain. Especially one place, the lighthouse. Everyone tells him the same thing, stay away from it, which only makes him more suspicious, because Teddy didn't just come here for the case, he came for answers. Years earlier, his wife died in a fire, and the man responsible, a violent criminal named Andrew Laeddis, was supposedly sent to this island. Teddy believes he's here somewhere, hidden, protected. And as the storm outside grows worse, his obsession takes over. But the island fights back. The weather traps everyone in place, communication is cut off, and Teddy's migraines begin getting worse. Violent headaches, disturbing dreams, visions of his wife speaking to him like she's still alive, warning him, telling him the truth is more dangerous than he realizes. At first, Teddy thinks it's stress, trauma. But then he starts questioning everything. The doctors, his partner, even his own memories. Because the more questions he asks, the more resistance he gets. And now Teddy is convinced something terrible is happening on this island. Human experiments, mind control, psychological manipulation. Why else would everyone act this way? Why else would they keep lying? Determined to uncover the truth, Teddy sneaks deeper into the facility, and what he finds only fuels his paranoia. Patients whispering his name, doctors watching him constantly, a feeling that every step he takes is being anticipated, like they already know what he's going to do. And then finally he reaches the lighthouse, the place everyone warned him about, expecting to find experiments, secrets, proof. Instead, he finds something else entirely. The truth. A truth so devastating it changes everything. Because Teddy Daniels isn't a U.S. Marshal. He's a patient. His real name is Andrew Laeddis, the man he's been searching for this entire time. Years earlier, after the death of his wife, his mind broke. Unable to accept what happened, he created a new identity, a new reality, one where he could avoid the truth and the investigation, the missing patient, the conspiracy. It was all part of an experimental treatment, one final attempt to bring him back to reality. At first, Teddy refuses to believe it. How could any of this be real? But slowly, the pieces begin falling into place. The memories, the inconsistencies, the dreams. And finally, he remembers. Not the version he invented, the real one. The horrifying truth about his wife, about his children, about what he did afterward. And in that moment, the fantasy collapses. Everything he built to protect himself, gone. For a brief moment, it seems like he's finally healed, finally accepted reality. But the next morning, something feels off. As he sits with his partner, he speaks like Teddy again, not Andrew. Teddy. The doctors exchange worried looks. The treatment failed. Or did it? Because just before he's taken away, he quietly asks one final question. Which would be worse, to live as a monster or die as a good man? And suddenly, everything changes. Because maybe he remembers everything after all. Maybe he simply chose not to live with it.